Check, 1, 2. Check. Testing, 1, 2. Check.
Hi there, my name is Wayne Dick, and welcome to the first official episode of my Sunday Drive series. I figured the best way to tackle this series is start with my own vehicles. So what we have here is a 1976 Toyota FJ45 Land Cruiser. I purchased this truck out of Sundre, Alberta. It's got the 2F inline 6, still carbureted. It's got the factory 4-speed transmission, factory transfer case, and axles. Still has the drum brakes up front, which are not fun. It's tough to keep those front brakes in check for some reason. The FJ45 pickup was first introduced in 1963 and completed its production in 1986. They could come in the long bed, as seen here, or also a short bed. And I believe it was the same wheelbase length for both units, just a shorter clip on the back end. First, let's give a breakdown of what FJ45 actually means. The F stands for the F-style engine. So it's a 2F 4.2 liter inline 6 that came in these vehicles. The J actually stands for Jeep. Believe it or not, after World War II, the US government knew Korea was next. And to avoid the massive overhead of building Jeeps in the United States and shipping them over to Korea, they went to Toyota in the late 40s with the plans for the World War II Jeep and asked them to build something similar. Now the 2F engine had a staggering 135 to 155 horsepower depending on the year. That accompanied with 210 foot-pounds of torque. These things were able to maintain highway speeds of 65 miles an hour. You're quite high in the RPMs at that point. However, off-road, these things are an absolute mountain goat. This particular Land Cruiser is a numbers matching Land Cruiser. Was driven on a regular basis up until last year, at which time we parked it in our shop at home. But we recently brought it back out to get it back on the road and enjoy driving. Surprisingly enough, the driver's seat is in incredible condition. It appears as though it's been recovered at one time because it is a different color than the passenger seat, and we just won't show that there. Very basic, rugged interior. Some of them came with radios. This one did not. You do have the creature comforts of heat and these neat little vents for letting in fresh air. You've got a manual shift transfer case with 2 high, 4 high, neutral and 4 low, and the 4-speed transmission. When I purchased this unit, the odometer didn't work. Most of the gauges didn't work. I was able to buy one of these off eBay. Many parts are still available for these FJ45s. In fact, you can buy an entire new bed, which this one needs. I mean, if you were doing a restoration, you'd want that. Like I said, we like to daily drive our stuff and use it. If I were to restore this, I wouldn't be throwing things in the back. I wouldn't be fencing with it. I wouldn't be doing the things that I enjoy, let alone taking it off-road, which is what it was designed to do. Let's go ahead and fire this up. Well, this is what you're here for, right? Let's go for a drive.
Where are we going? Does it really matter? You know, driving something like this, you've got to keep an open mind. Alert, for lack of a better term. There's no time for distractions, no room for cell phones, no cup holders or heated seats. The steering, well, it's a little loose. The brakes, yes, you can bring it to a stop. The term full send doesn't really apply to speed in an old truck, but more encompasses the entire experience. Every old truck has its own very unique smell. Old vinyl, Berber, wool, a little engine oil, definitely some stale fuel, and more than likely a hint of critters that probably call some of that interior home. The tailgate of an old truck can speak volumes of previous caretakers. No two are created equal. Scars, dents, a sharp edge from backing into something while the tailgate is lowered. My attraction to old trucks definitely stems from my childhood. I learned to drive in an old Mercury. It was a manual transmission. I remember sitting on my dad's lap. He'd run the pedals, shift the gears, and I'd keep it between the ditches. We put a lot of miles on those back roads, and many valuable life lessons were taught, most of the time without speaking a word.
Well, I've got to say, this Toyota FJ45 has probably been one of my most favorite vehicles in our collection for a very long time. That being said, we've owned it since 2018, and it's time to send it down the road. We found a new home for it that is going to take this thing down to the frame and do a full restoration over the next few years. And I'm extremely happy to know that it's going into good hands. There's something you can't get from new cars. Old trucks smell good. Old trucks have character. Old trucks keep you on your toes. Old trucks sometimes piss you off. But at the end of the day, you can guarantee an old truck will put a smile on your face. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, keep it between the ditches, and we'll see you on the blacktop. I never did finish what the definition of FJ45 was, I realized. So there's FJs, there's BJs, and there's HJs. So the FJ is the straight six gasoline engine. The BJ is an inline 4 diesel engine. The HJ is an inline 6 diesel engine. Now the difference between 40 and 45 series, that refers to the wheelbase. The 40 series is a short wheelbase. The 45 series, long wheelbase.